cold as a witch's... Huh?
Booby shrimp.
What?
I thought he was in Glasgow drying out.
No one goes to Glasgow to dry out.
True. Paul, wake up!
Hello, Mora.
Greetings, Internet denizens. I'm Sapphire.
I'm Paul,
I'm Josh.
and we are your gassed up geeks. Today we're going to talk about,
What the hell is that?
that would be coffee. I know,
Is
he's
it
the
some-
coffee addict.
There's something wrong with you?
No, we are the gassed up geeks. Irish coffee.
Oh, that should be mine, man.
What the hell is that?
Rum and Coke.
Oh, okay. Acceptable.
Yes.
I'll drink to that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Gotta switch it up now and then, guys. Gotta drink on the cheers. My bad. Alright, go. We are here today and we're going to talk about our favorite vessels that travel the stars. I want to say our favorite ships, but this is my mouth, so it's S-H-I-P-S. Not the other one.
Still getting used to the new teeth.
Yeah. I just had this incredible urge to go to Barcelona. I am. My second favorite ship is the classic, the Millennium Falcon. It all started at a diner, talking about design, a hamburger, and an olive, side by side. And they just went, oh, that could work. Yeah, hold on. Next thing you know, we've got the classic ship that we love so much, and I like it because if you look at it, it's very reality based. Okay, yeah, you don't have the thrusters, the shields, hyperspace, and all that stuff, but if something went wrong, smoke came out of a tube. You had knobs, dials, and switches, and so pretty much, if you had a couple of $1 billion lying around, you could build yourself the Millennium Falcon and hope Disney doesn't sue.
Yeah, pretty cheap.
Elon Musk, get on it.
Yes. So, but I mean, it is a classic. We all loved it when we first saw it in A New Hope. We grew up. It's pretty much a character on its own. The way that Han would talk about it, and just you can see the love that they put into that vehicle, and it was wonderful. I mean, and then of course, it was one thing that makes it iconic is that in The Force Awakens, when Finn and Rey are running, what about that ship over there? Well, that's just a hunk of junk. All of a sudden, the ship they're running for gets blown up. Okay, let's go to the hunk of junk, and then the camera turns. And admit it, guys, when you saw the Millennium Falcon was the ship that they were talking about,
Oh, yeah.
we all cheered, yes, welcome back! So, and then when they got up and running, those classic moves as they flew around, as they flew around, and just the swerving and the curving and oh man, it was just Millennium Falcon.
I love that chase scene in Force Awakens.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, speaking of smuggling ships,
Which, yeah.
Yes.
one of my favorites is the Firefly class, Serenity.
Yeah.
Yeah. With all those nooks and crannies to hide stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Very, and the crew. The crew was perfect with her. They, you kind of describe them as what, eclectic?
That's definitely the word I would use, yeah.
I would say
it
that's
works.
the polite way to talk about them.
It works well, yeah, yeah. And I think my favorite thing that she's done is this little thing called Crazy Ivan. With the
Oh, the
Which
pilot
is-
episode, Crazy
Yeah.
Ivan in Hatmo. That was awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, the Crazy Ivan is an actual tactic that submarines have used, so again, reality-based, is
Yeah.
using a real maneuver.
Yeah.
Gets a little tricky at times. The fact, or the number of times that two subs have actually collided is classified, but the fact that it has actually happened
Yeah.
is not. In fact, there's been theories that that may have been what took down the USS Thresher back in the 50s.
Although, a little fun fact is that the cast, when they were not filming, they got along so well and they loved the set so much that the kitchen dining area where the characters hang out, well, the actors, when they weren't filming, hung out there
Yep.
and talked about their day in their real lives on the set instead of going, okay, I'm not filming. Okay, I'll be in my trailer when you need me until you need me.
That'd be a great kitchen idea. Ooh, I should do that. Yeah.
Dude, you should. Dude, we should get that as our set.
Hunt down that table, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's cost pretty penny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you guys are sitting here. I mean, okay, yeah, your two ships are beautiful, but let's face it, they could get put together in a landfill.
Yeah.
One of my favorites most certainly could not. The USS Enterprise.
And let's reality.
1D.
Actually, I'm going to go with the E on that one. I mean, okay, the Galaxy class from Next Generation, beautiful ship.
It was a hot rod.
Yeah. The Constellation class from the original series and the original movies, very nicely done. The Enterprise C that you see in the episode Yesterday's Enterprise, Battle of Narendra 3, very sweet looking, but the Enterprise E from the last 3 movies, ignoring Abrams, ugh, that thing looks like it was designed to eat babies.
Borg babies?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Especially in First Contact.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I mean, you look at the Sovereign class. It is sleek, it is powerful, it is designed to handle anything that comes at it. And that's not even its primary function.
Well, it was still an exploration ship. That's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, except for Picard asking,
Can anyone remember when we used to be explorers?
Well, the D looked like it was a ship for families. The E, not so much.
yeah.
Well, another ship that is good for families is Battlestar Galactica.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great Terran-looking ship. And
Considering it was also a 1,400-meter long lifeboat for the entire species.
pretty much, yeah. So, I mean, you haven't seen it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So essentially what happens is it's about to go into retirement. So another scrap vehicle. He's basically going into retirement. It's essentially a museum at this point. So they have the captain. He's about to go into retirement. Sig will probably correct me on that. But so you have this bare bones crew, and so they have. All right, so everything's going fine, almost about to, and then the Cylons start to attack. Everything is just this giant clusterfuck. Everyone scrambles, and they just start going out, just trying to get away from it. And so this, so the Galactica has this convoy of other ships, just totally random ships, like cargo ships or mining ships or ships that people are going on vacation with. So it's just this ragtag thing, and so they form this sort of collective of along convoy, and it's just a really great story. And you always have the Galactica as the stable.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, spoiler alert: the Battlestar doesn't actually get to the
Destination.
destination.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
that is one thing I do like about the show. I mean, like Josh said, I haven't really watched it, but I am kind of familiar with it. I mean, when you're facing android apocalypse, the only ships that you can get in order to stay relatively safe are the ones that are quickly at hand, and it's just going to be mad grab for everything. So it is going to be this ragtag fleet of luxury yachts and miners, freighters, just whatever you can get as quickly as you can get it to get out of Dodge.
but
So that was a really smart move for them.
Yeah, it did work out though. Everyone sort of had their part, and the Galactica was a big part of that convoy. It's one of the things it does is it's good for long treks. so it recycles 99.9% of its water. So everything is. So how do you like the coffee?
It depends. How recycled is it?
I'm experimenting with this new tech. Anyway.
Moving on.
So it helps to alleviate the pains of water with the other starships, and there's one that can produce food. There's one that obviously mining.
Okay, if the water's recycled, where are they getting the food from?
You gotta tell them Silent Breed is people!
Yeah. That'll explain why the crew complement's getting smaller.
Well,
Alright, so.
Speaking of eating babies.
Yeah, I'm noticing a trend on that because you were mentioning one of your other favorite ships is kind of looks like it's out there to eat babies.
Oh, it was designed to. The BC-304 from the Stargate franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, Terran designed warship. The nice thing about it is you actually see through the entire franchise them collecting technology from different crashed, captured, secured, or derelict Goa'uld vessels. And
So it's a junker?
oh, no. They took everything they learned with some minor setbacks. Jack O'Neill, if you're still out around Saturn, hi! And they reverse engineer the tech. They figure out how to make it work, how to put it all together. And you even see incremental increases in their capability. There's the 301 that fails miserably, the 302 fighter that is kick-ass, the BC-303 Prometheus, which I just kind of looks ugly. But then you get
They're just trying to cram everything in, though. They're not they're worried about looks at that point.
Yeah, but I mean...
I've got the Hodge, you got the Podge?
Yeah. It shows an incremental increase with each new iteration of what they're capable of. And with a couple exceptions, the Daedalus class is very quickly noted as the premier power in two separate galaxies.
There you go.
I mean, okay, the original Ori invasion at the end of Season 9, it gets its ass kicked. The series finale of Atlantis, the Daedalus class, gets absolutely ramshackled by the ZPM-powered Uber Hive. But, I mean, in just about every engagement, it holds its own and then some.
There you go. Well, that brings us to I said the Falcon was my second favorite, of course. This is me. We all know how much of a Whovian I am. Number one for me, the TARDIS. The least reality-based.
Yeah.
Because we haven't figured out time travel yet, and Stephen Hawking proved it because he sent an invitation to time travelers saying, meet me last week. So, just like we're saying, these ships have become characters in and on their own right in a way. I mean, none has been so proven and really been a character in on its own like the TARDIS.
Literally.
Yeah, even the spirit of the TARDIS was once actually put into a person.
Great
and
episode.
Made for some great comments back and forth.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
We talked earlier about the Doctor's daughter, and this was the Doctor's wife, so which pretty much, yeah. And they've done so many fun things with it. They've changed the look of it on the inside. Even there's always circular patterns in the background.
The round things. I love the round things.
What are the round things?
No idea.
Oh dear, the friction quadrifibrillator. Ha! There! Stabilise.
Oh, you've redecorated. I don't like it.
Oh yeah, oh you never do.
Well, we actually find out what some of them do is because at one point in The Husbands of River Song is dealing with the Doctor, and she hasn't met this version yet, so she doesn't realize it's the Doctor. And she takes him in the TARDIS, and she opens up one of the roundels. It's got a bar, and even the Doctor's like, where'd that come from? I didn't know that was there. But I mean, it goes through time and space. It's stuck in the police box shape because the chameleon circuit, which is supposed to analyze the area just before materializing so that it can blend in, is broken. So that's why we have the iconic ship that we have. And it has literally become a character in and on its own and iconic. It actually, the BBC, not the police, own the copyright to the shape.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Metropolitan Police never copyrighted it. So at one point somebody noticed, and
wow!
so then the Metropolitan Police Force tried to sue the BBC, and the judge went, "You never did nothing about it. They win. They patented it first." So, but yeah, that the TARDIS always going to be my first love when it comes to the ships. So, what about you guys? Is there any ship that we missed, like the Red Dwarf? Let us know. That's what the comment section's for.
We'll probably cover it more in detail.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, there's a lot of great ships out there. I mean,
Yeah.
So, but tell us what you think. Tell us what you love. Tell us what you hate. We're always here. We love your feedbacks. We love your comments. So until then, I'm Paul.
I'm Josh.
I'm Sapphire.
And they lost.
Bitch!
Oh, sort of caught me at a bad time. But make sure you also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. There's some pretty good stuff there. Excuse me.